Okay, let's try that again. Welcome
Right.
to the Lewis and Rozh Hockey Podcast. I am Lewis.
And I'm Roush.
Let's go! It's been an
Right.
eventful couple of days. We recorded on Sunday. It's now Tuesday, I hope.
You hope
I hope.
it's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. That's good. I'm losing track of the days. Losing track of the days. It's been I'm very tired most of the time. So it would I don't really know what day it is anymore.
Are you up watering all those plants? Is that it?
I don't have that job.
You should have taken it.
We'll see, we'll see. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the world of ice hockey,
Uh,
specifically the NHL, because it's the most interesting league in the world.
and then it's the viewer. And then it's the
And
viewer.
then Viewer,
Yeah.
of course. Well, the biggest news over the last since we last recorded, I'm not sure if you heard, Gabriel Landeskog. This is the biggest news, but the biggest news.
It broke today.
It broke today. It's fresh,
Mungos. Broke
fresh
bars and
off of the
mungos.
press.
I know.
Gabriel Landeskog is undergoing knee surgery and will be out for the 23-24 season.
It's a big loss.
It's a big loss for the Avalanche. Huge loss. And as the world's biggest Gabriel Landeskog hater, what do you think about this news, Rush?
Well, I'm gonna put this out first. He's the most overrated player in the league. Okay.
Most
That being
overrated?
Yeah, most overrated player in the league. Okay, if you, not that like people are out there saying Landeskog's like Draisaitl level, but if you ask people what they put at Landeskog, I think you consistently get opinions that are way too high for the stats he's putting out there. Right?
He's a top 20 winger in this league.
Top 20 winger, my ass. I'm a top 20 winger in the viewer. Okay, that's what you're saying.
That's because there are only 20 players in the whole organisation.
I mean, that being said, like he did have 30 goals in his last season that he actually played. It's an important piece. He's your captain, and he's going to be out the whole time.
He was a big part of their run to the cup.
Yeah, no, of course. And when you lose someone like that in the locker room, because who knows, is he going to be traveling the whole time with the team? Probably, but
I don't know. I heard from there was a tweet I saw from Mark Mathot, former Ottawa Senator.
of all people,
Yeah, he said he underwent the same surgery, and whilst it did heal his knee, it didn't allow him to get back to the same level of skating, like to an NHL level of skating, which is part of the reason why he then had to retire.
Do we know when the thought had that surgery?
I'm guessing towards the end of his career, which was what 2018, 2019.
I was gonna pull up his stats real quick and have a look at how hard he dropped off. There's a guy called Mayo, I thought.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at like the end of his career, I mean, Mathot was never known for a point scorer, but yeah, no, like pretty consistently playing for Ottawa, and then I imagine he gets it late 2017, plays a little bit with Dallas or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's done. Really, he retired at Dallas Star, which is criminal.
So is this the end for Gabriel Landeskog?
I don't think it's the end. Like he's too good to go out like this. I think he's gonna maybe he's not the same player he once was, but I think he comes back.
I think he comes back. I think he attempts to come back. But he's getting up there, man. He hasn't played in by the time he's expected to come back. He won't have played for 2 years.
He'll be 31. I mean, it's doable. Don't get me wrong.
Like, it's 100% doable. That's a professional athlete right there.
He's not gonna be. He won't be the same player.
No.
No. But I think I don't think this is the end of Landeskog unless like he comes back and then I think any other injury and then he's done for sure. But for now, I don't. Maybe he comes back in a year. Maybe he's better than ever. I mean, McDavid had that I know it's McDavid, but he had that rehab.
He didn't. McDavid didn't injure his leg though. He injured his collarbone.
I'll injure your collarbone.
Okay.
Don't make me look like an idiot on this podcast. That's what I told you.
There is the opportunity for a big brain move here by not Joe Sakic, but Joe Sakic's underling, who I cannot remember the name. because
Let me
Sakic's
find his
well,
name for
Sakic's
you.
not the GM anymore. It's fucking I want to name his, I want to
Uh,
say his name is Steve.
Steve Harrington.
It's not Steve Harrington.
I'll find his name for you. It says Chris McFarland.
That's it. Um,
Look at his. I'm sorry, Lou. Um, I don't think we can pull it up, but like, just look at his Wikipedia image, or the one that comes up when you
oh, hang on,
search.
I can pull it out. Don't worry, with the powers of
You can pull it up.
OBS editing. Give me a second.
Do you know which image
There
I'm
you go.
talking about?
Boom. And then we open Chris McFarland.
This is all behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. His image on Wikipedia isn't showing up.
Oh, just type in Colorado Avs GM, and this says Chris McFarland, and there should be an image next to it. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh,
Um,
guys, a terrible picture.
yeah, no, it's I mean, he's got a nice smile though.
He has got a nice smile. He perhaps needs to be a tad more clean shaven. But what do I know? I'm not a GM of an NHL team.
True. I mean, for how stressful the job is, he looks pretty happy.
He does, man. He does.
Can't fault a guy on his happiness.
Anyway, I think there's the opportunity here for GM of the Colorado Avalanche, Chris McFarland, to pull a big brain move. You want to know why?
What he's gonna put? He's gonna trade him. Is that what you're saying?
So, if you trade a... Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Discord stopped working, hang on.
Oh no.
It's fixed, Okay, cool. Right. If you trade a player,
Yeah.
you have to wait a year for him to be able to be traded back to your team.
Is that a rule? I didn't know about
It
that.
is a rule.
The NHL games are lying to me. I've traded Zach Hyman and Gallagher and Oshie like back and forth a bajillion times for
It
that
might
double
not.
retention.
It might not be the exact rule, but I know that I can't remember where it came out, but I remember someone raising the idea that you could trade away a certain player to
Yeah.
say the Coyotes, get them to retain salary, and then trade him right back to the same team. And there's a rule that prevents you from doing that, right? But
Right.
if Gabriel Landeskog is out for a year, you could
Yeah.
trade him to a team that he's not going to be able to play for because he's injured, and then trade him back to back to the Avs after a year on a retained salary transaction.
Okay. Here's the thing though. He's making 7 for at least. Well, he's making 7 for 6 more years, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you want to get someone to retain what 3.5 for 6 years, and you have to trade him that and trade back for him. You're giving up a load of stuff for that, right? And who knows? Maybe he comes back. Maybe he comes back, and like you say, he's not the same player, and maybe he can't do it. You are gambling hard on that one.
True. I don't know. It has the opportunity, is the potential to be a big brain move. I'm not sure it is.
This is like some 4D chess bullshit that you've come up with. This is where you get fired. Okay, this is some bullshit you come up with. The fan base goes crazy over you trading Landeskog to fucking Arizona. Right? Like, what if he just comes back early and he's like, "Fuck it, I like Arizona more." He's got a no move. Well,
Listen, I'm not saying all the big brain moves work completely. I don't have my Brandon Pridham by my side, right? I don't have him to tell me that it's not going to work. I'm just saying it could. This is why I'm not employed by any NHL team.
This is like. This is like you got to put this on Twitter, okay, and see what people say. This is a ridiculous take.
I don't get any interactions on my Twitter apart from you liking my tweets.
Well, hey, you gotta. Why not plug yourself right now?
At Lewis _ on Twitter, I tweet proficiently about my new favorite team, the Dallas Stars.
Oh yeah, we should maybe move on to that in a little bit. You fucking
Well,
traitor.
we can start that now. Because why not?
What's your opinion on Landeskog real quick? Do you think he's gonna come back, or do you think?
I don't know. I think it might be just a really sad end to a good career.
Yeah, I mean,
having been out for being out for a year is tough, but being out for 2, I can't remember any players who were out for 2 years and then came back from injury. Obviously, there are players that went over to Europe and stuff and then came back, but from injury for 2 years and then came back. to be the same player that you were, and to be able to, because that's a big contract on the Avs as well, especially because
Yeah.
they
They
doubled
extended him
McKinnon,
last year. Yeah. Oh,
because McKinnon's now largest contract in the league,
what's he making?
12.6.
Woohoo.
So it will be it's gonna be really tough for the Avs. Um, Especially, I actually think it would be more tough if he was playing but not as well as he was than if he wasn't playing. Because you can
Well,
use
yeah,
that
because the
contract
cap
for
hit would be more.
LTIR. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. In a year, we'll come back to this take in a year. And
McKinnon captain, calling it now.
sorry,
McKinnon, the new captain.
it might not be a bad shout.
Or hit me out. They bring back Donskoy. There
Okay,
you go.
I'm shutting that down right away.
I'm just saying, Donskoy. I don't think he goes back to Seattle. I think he's going somewhere else.
I mean,
I'm just saying, we need a left winger. I take Donskoy. I take him cheap. He only scored 2 goals. You can get him for like cheap. You can get him cheap. You can get him cheap.
is Donskoy a valuable replacement for Gabriel Landeskog?
He only played the line below him, didn't he? He played like second, third
I
line, middle
don't
six.
know.
Well, you weren't following the ads like 3 years ago. Are you kidding me?
No, I wasn't. Funnily
Oh,
enough.
I was. I was a big
Oh yeah,
Donskoy fan. I was devastated that they
Donskoy
took
Truther, Roche Hosh now.
Donskoy. Yeah,
Donskoy Truther.
that's what I'm
Jesus
known for.
Christ. Okay, on to the next bit of news. The Leafs fall
Alright.
down behind the Florida Panthers 3-0 in their series.
The big guys just aren't getting it done. I think. Well, I mean, that's what everyone's saying. I think it's quite obvious.
This is why I am no longer a Leafs fan. At least
Well,
until September.
no, you can't do that. You
I
can't just.
can do that. If they win, what is it, tomorrow they play?
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, they're still gonna lose. This series is already lost from my eyes. I see a
I
lot of
mean,
people going, have some faith, Leafs fan, blah
nah,
blah blah. The Flyers did it in 2010, all that jazz.
yeah,
Fuck off.
that was a good team though. Like, you know what I
They
mean?
the Leafs don't care.
Well, the core just doesn't have it. Let's be honest. Mana, Mana doesn't care. He says the same thing every year, right? Like
Do you
how
hear the
many?
quote from Matthews the other day?
No, but I heard it was a quote that will either crash and burn or stand for eternity.
He said it's do or die after the Game 3 loss.
It's gonna die.
They're already dead.
Yeah, no, it's like it's like just giving. I don't understand how like you can play so well for the whole season, right? To get to this point, you finally get the monkey off your back, and then you just quit. Like, do you not want more? Is this
Do
like
we
the
do,
limit of your ambition here?
do we need to overhaul the core?
Lewis, I've been watching this team for my entire life. This core needs to go. Right? Something has to change here if they get swept.
Okay, so let's have this conversation, right? If out of the 5 players on the team, you're saying
Yeah,
let's say the core is Nylander, Marner, Matthews, Tavares, Riley.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's sort of the guaranteed core 5, right? Out of
Mhm.
those 5, who do you drive? 2 of them have no moves.
Okay, the one I'm a bit emotional here because he has been one of my favorite players on the Leafs, but Marner cannot stay. He cannot if he's going to play like this.
I mean,
Like,
that's the thing, right? He's so good in the regular season, and then he just gets to the playoffs. Someone read out a stat in games 1 to 4 of a series,
I've seen it.
1 to 4 of a series, he has like 20 points. In games further than game 4 of the series, he has like 9.
Yeah, no, the drop off between 4 and 5,
It's
is
insane.
just ridiculous. It just shows he flames out. And it doesn't matter how good he is in the regular season, right? For at least for this team, right? For the team he grew up supporting, he cannot care enough to get it done. He cannot show up when it matters. So, like I said, does it matter if he's good in the regular season? If when it actually matters, like when we need to win the games, he's not going to be there. I don't think so.
But then
Um,
who do you trade him for? I can't think of a player in recent memory, at least, that is so The discrepancy between the regular season and the playoffs is so different.
Well, here's the thing.
At least from a forward.
I think that any trade you make, maybe bar Nylander if you pull a Sakic with it, but I don't want to really trade Willie. I think I have all the core there. He tried the hardest, even if it didn't really show.
Yeah.
Um, I think no matter who you trade, you're gonna lose it, right? I think we have to admit that if you trade any of this core, you're probably gonna lose the trade.
It depends what you get. If you trade Mana to the Chicago Blackhawks, their first overall pick,
They're not doing Bedard for Mana.
they're not. But can you imagine?
I mean, it'd be ridiculous. I'd take the deal because Bedard's gonna be in the NHL
Yeah.
soon. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, he makes way too much, which is a common theme with Dubas contracts.
But he doesn't make too much in the regular season. In the regular season, that
No.
contract is amazing. It's just in the playoffs, where contract prices don't actually matter, he's just not contributing.
You can say, I mean, you can say that for any of these guys. Like, I don't understand. I'm baffled how you can just drop off that hard.
They've reached the second round for the first time in 19 years, and they're gonna end it without actually getting a second round win.
That's what I mean. It's like you'd think I don't like if they get outworked. Sure, if they get outplayed, I can live with it if they show some effort, right?
But they're not. They just suck.
No, it's like in the Tampa series last year. I wasn't mad because they did try, even if they did get beat.
Yeah, like they lost. They lost. Whereas the
Yeah.
Montreal series, they threw.
Don't remind me about that series. Like I'm just saying, like, I mean, people were calling for Mana's head then. I mean, people. It's a common theme with him. Like, maybe it's time, Mitchie. Maybe you're bye off to Anaheim. I don't know.
To Anaheim, Jesus.
I think Mitch would thrive in Anaheim.
He would
Sunny,
thrive anyway. He's an incredibly good player.
unless
It's
send
just
him to
not
the
on the
Habs.
list.
He would not thrive on the Habs.
Oh my
They'd kill
god,
him.
they would.
They would eat him alive.
What do you think of Dubas and Keith's jobs if they get swept?
I think we said this in the first round too. And I think if we said this in the first round, we have to stick by it in the second round. That if the Leafs don't win, you can't blame Dubas. He's given them.
Yeah,
like what more can he do? What more can he do?
I don't think you can blame Dubas.
No.
He's done such an exceptional job.
He has given them leaders in Marlowe, Thornton.
Why
Simmons,
do you instantly go to those three players? Ryan O'Reilly is on the team.
I'm going from the past to the present, dog. Chill. But you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying.
Start with fucking Patrick Marlowe.
He's a leader. What can I say? Don't be insulting Patty Marlowe.
6x3.
He's a legend.
6x3.
That's a Lou deal, though.
Not the point.
No. But you know what I mean? Like, he's given them the leadership like a young core like this needs, right?
Yeah.
He's given them the hard-hitting pieces. He's given them the Martins, the Acharis, the fucking Laffertys. Right? He's given them He's given them the secondary pieces, Hyman's, Kapanen's, fucking Bunting.
Fucking
Nyes.
Ryan O'Reilly is playing most of the time as a 3C.
I'll get on to Keith in a second because
I think Keith's job is much more a risk.
Yeah, if you notice Keith's career, it's more Dubas dragging him around than anything.
If you will Dubas fire Keith if necessary.
That's the thing. Like, Dubas is a clever guy, so I think he will if he needs to. I mean, we saw it. Keith got outcoached.
He did. He's getting outcoached.
He's like,
it's a combination of Keith getting outcoached, the players not doing anything, and Florida just playing. Let's be honest, Florida are playing really well.
So Florida, I know it's a cliche phrase, but Florida literally wants it more.
Yeah, they do. It's. I'm not having a good time, man. I don't want to go through the game and analyze it because.
Well, I mean,
our rival podcasts do that. We have to call our rivals now.
I mean, everyone Do we need to analyze it? Like we all
The
know what
only
happened.
part about the game that I want to point out is in game. What game did they play last night? Game
Oh,
three.
hang on. Can we say one thing real quick? The one of the only people who showed up that night, Joseph Wall.
True. True.
They're gone.
What a great player.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He's gonna be a stud.
he is going to be a stud. Game two. Sam Bennett RKO's Matthew Nyes in the defensive zone
The
and
fucking
rocks
George Parros,
rocks
bud.
his shit. Doesn't even get a penalty for it.
Did
And
you get did you
everyone
get the
was
fine for
saying,
it though?
no, he got a fine for cross-checking Michael Bunting.
Like, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And I saw a lot of people, and I spoke to you about it as well.
Yeah.
They need to go into game three. I don't care what you do. You need to beat the shit out of Sam Bennett because you can't allow that to
No.
be an accepted practice. And what do? I don't even know if they threw a single hit that game.
No. They played classic 17-18 Leafs, right? Or like 18-19 Leafs, you know. No, just nothing at all. Like you think
How do
having
you
people like
expect to be respected as a hockey team, and you can't even stick up for your rookies? There wasn't even a fucking response in game two, which was bad enough as it is, but then nothing in game three either. Like, come on.
like you have pieces that will fight as well. You have McCabe, Shen, fucking
Fuck it,
you
put
like someone.
Simmons in the lineup. Bench
Yeah,
Giordano, they may as well pay Simmons.
Gio's a big guy. I think Gio should take him. Like some. That's what I mean. Like Dubas has given these people, this team, everything, right? And this is how they respond. Like it's the same with years back, right? You, like in the corners, it'd only be Hyman. You'd only ever have Hyman battling, right?
Yeah.
Like straight up, we need Matt. I know I say this as a joke, but like we need someone like
We
Matt
need an
Martin.
enforcer, like an actual proper enforcer. And Matt Martins is a name that comes to mind.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
he's up at I think he's up this year. Um,
Bro, you have Luke Shen. You
well,
have
that's what
Luke
I'm saying. That's
Shen.
what I'm saying. Luke, no Lachari. Like O'Reilly's a big guy. I know like. I just don't understand how they can let this slide.
I'm convinced they just don't care anymore.
Well, I mean, it's
And
quite
that's
clear they've checked out.
and that
They've
is one of
checked
the
out.
reasons that I am now a fan of the Dallas Stars. Although I said that on Sunday and then they lost badly to the Seattle Kraken, so maybe I'm the problem.
I'm just gonna say, um, it's you got to stick with your team. It's like, where's the integrity? I've been watching these guys my whole life.
It's
Okay.
hard to. I mean, I can't say that I'm as big a fan as some other guys because I've only been watching the Leafs for the last 4 years, 3 years, 4 years.
It's a bit easier for you then, but I get
But
it. This team isn't giving the
it's
fans back what they deserve.
like it's bad watching it, having what's happened over the past 4 years. Can you imagine over the last 7, over the last 20? Like,
Don't don't come
it's
at me with that,
ridiculous.
okay?
It's such a joke.
Yeah,
And I think if I see a good, obviously I'm going to watch the game tomorrow. If they have an actual response, maybe I'll go back to giving them a bit of support. But as far as I'm concerned, they can have my support back in September, maybe in July when the draft happens. But
I mean it's fair. They don't deserve your support. I can understand that.
it's
Um,
it's I'm mad. I'm big mad.
yeah.
I think if they get swept, Dubas should go to Pittsburgh.
I I mean the players don't deserve a guy like Dubas, but the fans deserve Dubas.
The fans deserve Dubas, but the players don't.
I think if Dubas goes, I think this is just another 20 years of bumfuck nothing for the Leafs.
Time to become a fan of the Anaheim Ducks, my second favourite team.
I don't know if Dubas goes, like who are we putting in his place? Who's going in?
I mean, Brad Treliving's available.
uh,
um,
oh boy.
Ron Hextall.
Shark Fletcher.
God, can you imagine Chuck Fletcher, the Toronto Maple? He's going to trade for Rasmus Ristolainen. I can hear it now. I can see the Elliot Friedman
It'll
tweet.
be
The trade is
McCabe.
1-for-1. Mana for Ristolainen.
No, you get McCabe in a second, dog.
For Ristolainen? No, that's not a
Yeah.
Chuck Fletcher trade. You
No,
got to make it.
that's a
You got
pretty
to make
much
it
it.
horrendously bad. Like Nylander half retained for Ristolainen.
And then he plays him and Hall top pair.
Yeah, it'd be something like
Yeah. Like if you're MLSE, if you have like a half a brain as an executive, you got to realize like you have to lock up to this. Like you cannot let him go.
that. Well, you say that. They might let him go
No, surely not.
after what's happened. Do they like? I don't know, man.
Well,
It's tough. It's
this is
tough.
tough. This is painful to say, but this is the best Leafs team I've ever seen in my life.
I think it's the best. You could make arguments for it being the best Leafs team ever. I think
On paper, sure, but
clearly not in practice.
no. But that's the thing. Like they got past the first round. I was one the last time they did that. You know.
I was about 3 weeks old.
So it's like I've seen it, but I don't remember it. You know. As far as I'm aware, this is like the furthest they've ever gotten. This is the furthest they've ever gotten in my lifetime,
Yeah,
and it kind of sucks to be like, oh, this team, like fucking the team that has gone so far. You know, the team that's continually got better and better each year until the playoffs, of course. Just continually shitting the bed. It's like
like
if this is
can you even go up from here? Is there an up?
not not with these players, like
No.
unless like even all five of them would need some kind of, I don't know, like intervention or like some traumatic experience. I don't know. Right? They need to. Their mindset just needs to change completely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm disgusted by Tavares. Like a
I mean,
player of his
yeah,
relationship, he should be doing so much better.
he's just like none of the core forward or anything. Riley's doing something, which I
Yeah,
never
but
thought
Mo,
I would
yeah,
say.
because I think
Because
because
he
Mo
cares.
understands. Well, he's been here he's the longest tenured Leaf. He understands, right? But
Yeah.
and don't get me wrong, like people always underrate JT. Like his first year, he got 47 goals, and everyone's like, "Oh, trade him." But when they're playing like this, when it really matters, I mean, like we said, if they lost in the first round, we'd have to send people out. We'd trade people anyways because there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
It's the same here. Like honestly, I'd rather they just lost Game 7 again because this is more embarrassing.
It is more embarrassing. It sucks. But it is a good segue onto my next point.
That being,
So I have written down in my notes here, pinholes Graham rest analysis. And those 4 words mean nothing to you.
no, they don't mean anything to me.
I came across a YouTube channel a couple of weeks ago called Pinholes Graham, and he does NHL analysis on like
Pinholes
playoff
Graham.
series. It's very, very interesting stuff.
Say Graham by the name.
Yeah, great, like the name.
Oh,
And
I found him.
he did a video very recently on the differences in the playoffs in the last 15 or 16 years on teams that have played on rest versus teams that haven't.
Yeah.
And he found like I think over 65% of the teams that don't have any rest between playoff rounds have a higher success rate, have a higher win rate than teams that have rest.
Oh, we had a pretty big rest, didn't we?
We did
What was it, 4 days?
something like that. The Panthers had
Yeah.
one.
Fucking.
It was a really good video, and I recommend all of our no viewers go and watch it.
Maybe put it in the description, eh?
Alright, maybe I will. Maybe I will. But it was a really. It
Maybe not.
was maybe not. I don't give out free publicity.
Only when you plug in your Twitter.
Only when I plug in my Twitter. He can pay me. But it was really, really interesting. Really interesting video, and yeah, it was quite eye-opening. That such a significant amount of teams who play rested don't win. It's such an abnormal statistic, but it's true, and I think it applies to Lusa. They're now just another statistic.
No, they're like they're a bunch of they're like a bunch of teenagers. You give them a little break, they go off and procrastinate, and they're like, "Ah, I can't be asked."
Yeah.
It's the same with me. Yeah, they
Well, we'll see
they,
what
they
happens
took the gas
tomorrow.
off the pedal. Sorry, they took
Yeah.
the foot off the pedal, and that's it.
We'll
It's
see what happens tomorrow if they
right.
manage to pull out a single win out of the bag.
Let me ask you
But
this, Lewis. What if they win game 5, and then they have a respectable game 6 and lose?
they have to win game 4 first.
Sorry, what if they win 4 and 5, and then they lose in 6?
I'm still unhappy because they could have
Yeah,
won the last 3 games.
they could.
So
Which will look like fucking idiots when they pull it back and win in 7. But
I don't care.
yeah,
I stand by my statements.
it's true. Like as of now, they don't have it. Maybe they can get it. I don't know how. Like in a couple
We'll
of in
see.
like the
We'll
day.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, on to the actual big news today, other than Gabriel Landeskog. Because that's the most important news. Clearly,
Yeah, but it's not Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
of course not. The Chicago Blackhawks, won the lottery last night and
What did I say?
have
You can
the
confirm this.
right
You
to
can
draft
confirm
Connor
this.
Bedard.
Have I not been saying this for weeks?
You've been saying this for weeks. That they're gonna rig it in favour of the Chicago
No,
Blackhawks.
Ainsley was right. I should have put money on it.
You should have put money on it.
I could have been living large right now.
Did you see? You didn't see the stream last night, right?
No, I was
So-
busy working.
It was Did you see any of the stuff on
So
Twitter about it?
what I heard is they cut to a commercial before they showed Columbus getting the 3rd overall pick, and then Kevin Weeks, I believe, or someone like that, leaked it on Twitter.
No, it was worse than that. So you know how they do they do 16-4, and then they cut to an
Yeah.
ad break.
hmm
So just so they do 16-4, and it's pretty much the order that I don't think anything changed until then. It was
Right.
the exact order,
Okay.
and as Kevin Weeks is reading out the the stats. He's "Oh, Calgary gets 16," and he gives a little statistic about the last time they drafted 16th or whatever.
hmm
Anyway, so he reads at number 4, and and then because obviously he's reading off an auto cue, and he does the bit where he cuts to an ad break. So at this point, position 3 has not been read out, right?
Yeah.
And they've just read out position 4, so he goes to cut to an ad break, and he goes something along the lines of, "And as Columbus move from 2 to 3, we'll find out who takes the number 1 spot after the break." And they cut to an ad break, and everyone's like, "We didn't just hallucinate that, right? He just reveal that the number 3 spot belongs to Columbus, even though he hasn't read that out, right?" And then
Yeah.
they
Well,
come
that's
back from the ad break and they reveal it was Columbus, and it was like, "Oh, okay, they did it." Apparently, as well, Elliot Friedman tweeted it out before it happened as well, but he deleted those tweets.
yeah.
So I
Well,
didn't see those, so I can't.
I mean, Free just like fucking underground. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah. So that was very funny. But you were right. Chicago did get the number 1 overall draft pick,
Uh,
and it is
you can't
rigged.
convince it. Yeah, no.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, no. After the Crosby draft, after the Bedard thing, you can't tell me, badminton. I'm putting these guys in markets that need to be big. That need to bring
They
in
should have
people.
put him in Anaheim. That's not a hockey city.
Yeah, but badminton are clever boy, is he? And they have Zekers.
Uh, what a joke league.
Yeah,
Seriously. Do you think they got to drop Bedard, right?
surely. But I like Leo Carlson a lot too. Not that I would take him first overall. No, surely it's Bedard.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, let's just hope they don't. I mean, he's a consensus pick, and as we've seen, consensus picks, Lafreniere, aren't always good.
I
But
saw a trade proposal yesterday. Would
yeah,
you trade Mana for Panarin and Lafreniere?
yeah,
Yeah, I would.
I feel like the Leafs can maybe make some. The thing is with Lashrin, yeah, like he can't fault the Rangers for drafting him. So I'm blaming the Rangers development staff on
Oh,
that one.
definitely.
Same with Kako. You see a lot with the Kings too. The Kings development staff. Yes.
Although saying that, Quinton Byfield's taken a good couple of steps this year.
Was he the one who was always injured?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, good on him. Good
Yeah. So
on him.
he's doing well. He was a big contributor in the playoffs, from what I remember. He's no Tim Stutzler.
No, but Tim Stutzler.
What a guy.
Yeah. Germany's coming out with some big picks. We need to catch up.
Yeah, man. But
Um,
yeah,
back to
that
the God.
is
Yeah.
what a dreadful league.
The thing is though, like even if Vidal goes straight in, like I mean, Chicago has nobody. Like if he's playing on a shit team, it could fuck him up a bit. Not that I'd be happy sending
Do you
him to
send
the
him
A.
back to the WHL? You can't send him to an A to the A.
Oh, can you? Oh, that's a dumb rule.
You can send him to the A for a conditioning stint of 9 games,
See,
but if you want to reassign him to a lower league, you have to reassign him to the WHL because of the contract agreement the NHL has with the CHL, which is a
I
joke.
mean, you probably. I don't want to sound like that guy on Reddit who was like, "Oh, send McDavid to the A," you know, because he's 18 and dumb. But I'm just worried, like, you see, like, if they overplay him or whatever, or they put him in a bad situation, like on a bad team. Wait,
The thing is with Bedard as well is that he's shorter than McDavid and a lot more slight. So you put him into a men's league. Is he going to be able to thrive as well? Is he more prone, more injury prone, perhaps?
let's not. No, well, now you sound how everyone did when about the Brinkat. I think it's clear it's not. It's not too much of a worry.
True, true. I mean, we'll see,
No,
won't we? We need
yeah,
to. He needs to actually be drafted first. He's not actually a Chicago Blackhawk yet, although I think it is only a matter of time.
yeah, and I mean, like, wait, how I can't remember what point was I gonna make there. Yeah, if even if he plays for a bad Chicago team, um, he's still like if you give him minutes, he's gonna. You give him good minutes, he could become something. Or you
If
know, you
Bedard
put too
goes to
much
the
on him.
Blackhawks, if Bedard goes to the Blackhawks, is he the best player on the team automatically?
Well, yeah, because what was that? Who was our leader? Tyler Johnson. So,
Is
it's
does he surpass Jonathan Toews?
no. Taves and Kane, they have a legacy. Like to
Oh, and also
surpass Taves.
Taves isn't re-signing there this summer.
No, Taves is done.
He might not be done in the NHL. He's just done with the Blackhawks.
Well, unless he goes to Winnipeg, I don't know where else he's gonna go. um, no, but Taves and Kane, you win 3 cups in 6 years, despite what happened. You know, let's be honest, right? Like
No, we don't
Chicago.
have to say allegedly about that. They covered up a
No.
sexual abuse scandal.
Okay, yeah. Kyle Beach sexually abused. The Blackhawks covered it up. Um, like despite that tainted season and that tainted cup, it's
The
still
tainted history, I
tainted.
think.
Yeah, a tainted legacy. It's a legacy is tainted,
Yeah.
and you know it does call into question the character of players like Taves Kane, Seabrook, Crawford, the one that went to Edmonton, who I can't remember.
Oh, Keith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it caused them like everyone's like, this is such a good leadership group, right? Are we sure?
I
You
can't
know,
believe that after all that, they decided to rig it in favour of Chicago. Allegedly. Um,
allegedly.
uh,
No,
like,
it's.
surely if they were to rig it anyway, allegedly, they would allegedly rig it against the Blackhawks. Allegedly.
I mean,
Um,
yeah.
just
I
covering
know.
myself on all bases there.
Maybe Batman's big brain in this. Maybe it's like if the Blackhawks don't win, people will say, "Oh, they rigged it against them." So,
It's
to
a
punish them.
lose-lose
Yeah.
situation for Batman. But
Well, I'm just saying. I would have liked to see Washington jump from 8-1, but oh well.
they're in prime position to draft Mitchkov.
True. And then OV can convince him to come over.
I think if Mitchkov goes to the Capitals, they are going to be a dangerous team. Dangerous
True.
team.
The way the Cavs are going, it looks like they're probably gonna wait a bit. Maybe they leave Minchkov in the K for a season
Well,
or two.
he is signed with SKA St. Petersburg for another 2.5, 3 years, I think.
Yeah,
So he
I mean,
can't. That's one of the big reasons why his draft stock dropped so much because he's signed with a KHL team.
see, the thing is I like I might be wrong about this, but I thought like if had the Caps not sold at the deadline and had like bought in, they could have made the playoffs.
I mean, you could have said that about Pittsburgh, and then they lost as well. Who would they have beaten out? It would have been Florida or New York.
Um, all the way New York played, it could have been them, but we'd have to see some classic Pittsburgh hockey.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like you see how the Caps sold, right? It kind of implies that maybe, they're done with this,
I
which
think,
is.
unfortunately for you, Roche,
I mean, I'm an Oshie guy.
I think they need to trade Oshie.
Dude, I know it's not the greatest contract, but he's still living up to it more than people expected.
He's so old, man.
Yeah, and he's still like the second leading scorer or something. I swear, like,
That's
oh,
not good.
what do you mean? He had like, okay, 20 goals, 60 games.
Would you
At
trade?
36, he's scoring 20 goals at the age of 36, man.
Would you trade Mana to the Capitals for Alexander Ovechkin?
Um, well, hear me out. For one, Ovi, he's he's got the winning spirit and he's a great goal scorer, but I don't think I'd do that trade. I think I can get more. And I kind of don't want to take Ovechkin.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I would trade Mana for Oshie retained plus.
Plus Ovechkin. Oshie and Ovechkin for Mana.
No, let me just. Can I just point this out real quick though?
Yeah.
Oshie shows up in the playoffs, right? So, um, that Carolina series, that was what year was that? Washington, Carolina. Let me figure it
A
out
couple of years ago, I think.
because in that series, um, I have a fun stat to tell you actually.
Okay.
It was when 2019. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. So, well, let me just go back. So the last time they made the playoffs, 21-22, right?
Yeah.
Oh, 6 games for Oshie. 6 goals, 1 assist, 7 points. That's a
Damn.
player. That's a player who shows up. The year before, 5 games, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points.
That was the bubble playoffs where the Caps just wanted to
Yeah.
leave.
All right. 1920. This is a down year. Okay. 8 games, three goals. Okay, it's not the
Okay.
best.
Yeah.
And then 18-19, 4 games, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. Yeah, not great, but like the further back
You're
you go,
not
the more of a
exactly.
depth piece he is. And then 24 games, 8 goals, 13, 21 points. And then 13 games, 4, 8 for 12. And then 12, 6, 4 for 10. Like, other than maybe 1 year, right? Other than consistently, since he's been traded to Washington, he has showed up in the playoffs.
I think
Like
if he
this,
was a younger player, I would be more open to trading for him. But considering his age, he's almost 37. That's a tough decision to make.
his contract's nearly up. He's not 20. He's not 37 till halfway through the season next year. You get him
Oh,
retained
that's
on the
okay
month.
then.
No, you get him retained. His birthday is the 23rd of December. I'm a big Oshie fan. What can I say? Um, but like I mean, I think he's got like 2 years left on his deal. Let me check. But what I'm saying is like Washington could probably retain him if they wanted to. Maybe not this year, but the year after, and
Yeah,
bring him
I
in
mean, it
on like.
depends if he wants to retire or not.
I mean, I always thought like after this contract he'd finish because of the injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, he's made a shitload of money. Oh, you know what he's got to? Yeah, he's got 2 years after this, so his last year is 24-25.
So he'll be almost 40.
Yeah,
I
but
think he probably retires.
yeah, I mean he's
Yeah.
had a good career. He's 960 games, 670 points, nearly 300 goals.
I think he probably get to 1,000 games. and then
Yeah,
retire?
he'll get to 1,000 games this season, I imagine,
Is
because
he
he
not
only has to
injured at the
play.
moment though?
I don't think he's injured. I
Wait,
know he's injured a lot, but
first time in ages.
shut up. Well, I mean, he hasn't played 82 games ever. He has never played a full season.
Wait, what about 2013?
2013. Uh, uh, what was it? 40. How many games? 40
48
something.
games. 48.
30.
Ah. Okay.
The closest he's gotten to is 80 with St. Louis and Washington apiece. But recently it's not been great. 53, 44, 58. I mean, there's no one really on Washington I take. Maybe Strome? Is Strome with Washington? I can't
Strome got
remember.
locked up to a big contract there.
Oh, lame.
Yeah,
No. Um, it's like I said before with a minor trade, you got to be really clever, otherwise you're not going to win it.
true. True. Uh, it'll be interesting. The NHL is a very interesting league. We'll see if Chicago draft Bedard. They probably will. We'll see if Oshie gets traded. He probably won't. But we'll see. You know, that's the whole
And we'll
point. It's
see what we'll see where
speculation.
Ryan Murray signs.
Of course.
Will Bozak come back?
We'll.
Will JVR get a contract? Find out.
You're you're horrible.
What can I say? I have my players and I pick them.
So we've made it through 3 topics today.
We still haven't talked about the playoffs.
And we still haven't talked. Should we talk about the playoffs real quick? And then
I
bring
did.
on our first guest of the
Yeah.
podcast.
I'll let her know we're gonna get ready for her soon.
Okay, so second
I
round
didn't see this game.
matchups. We've got Dallas, Seattle. Who do you think
Okay.
wins?
Well, I mean, Seattle are just steamrolling Dallas right now. I
They
think
are.
it's kind of crazy how much depth they have, especially with the pieces they're missing.
Tyler Sagan put it very well. You look at that lineup, you can't tell which line's the first line.
True. So I mean, props to Hagstall, which feels really
Never
weird to
thought I
say.
would say.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like it one bit.
It will be interesting to see how far they actually manage to get it because the Stars have a really really good team.
I think this is one that can go. I mean, if Dallas pull back game 4, this is one that could go 7.
Yeah, I think so. And then you've got Edmonton, Vegas.
This is all right. Oh, so I didn't catch the game last night, but I saw the score and
they so Edmonton scored like 3 minutes in, right?
yeah.
And then they proceeded to light up Stuart Skinner. He got pulled. Campbell got put in, and then they scored once on Campbell.
Well, I mean, you put Skinner in again, but I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this series. Like every game is a fucking blowout. I have no
Yeah,
fucking clue.
I think Vegas do win in the end.
I think Vegas is a stronger team. Like if you like
Yeah,
depth wise and all that. It's just can they stop
and
Edmonton? Can they stop McDavid and
well,
Draisaitl?
you know what they did last night, Roche? You know
They
who
stopped it.
was a non-option for them last
Dry.
night? Draisaitl and McDavid did fuck all. Let
Fucking
me just
anyone
check
not.
that they didn't score on that. They didn't
No, they
assist on that
didn't. I
first
swear
goal.
it was it was it was like
I
fucking
know.
Bouchard or something that scored it.
I think it was Bush. It was, or maybe Broberg. I think maybe scored it.
Ah, they're the same player.
Warren Fogle, assisted by
Warren.
Derek
Oh,
Ryan and Ryan McLeod.
there you go. Like,
Wow.
how many shots on goal did they? McDavid with 3 shots on goal.
McDavid was
Dry with 3 as well.
a.
He was a zero
Dryside was
zero
a
zero.
-2. McDavid was -2. Our man Cody Ceci was a -3.
What about huge Nuge?
Huge was, what's his number? Oh, there he is.
93.
-2.
Yikes! I mean, to be fair, those big pieces are always kind of they're not the best defensively.
Campbell was not the goalie of record either. Skinner played most of the game.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I think we can all say that the Oilers' defense sucks ass. It's just
Oh, I've been saying that for years.
it's just whether the forward group and that power play, which is ridiculous, can carry them.
Yeah. I'm
I
talking
don't
of
think
power plays. I don't want to go back to the Leafs again, but in that, like, not a single power play for the Leafs in that game. Like, come on.
Thanks, Wes. Thank
Thanks,
you,
Wes.
Wes.
Thanks, Wes. What a great ref.
You know, Paul Maurice, he said it himself. What was it? 6-1.
6-1. Yeah. 2-0.
It's only fair. It's only fair. They gave us too many power plays in one game, so they get to kill our rookie, and we get none.
God, I hate it. I hate it. I have listed on my topic list here the question: when was the last time the Oilers had good goaltending? But I
Oh,
think
let's
that's a
just quickly
topic to
do.
tackle for the next time.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's do Carolina, New Jersey.
Uh, New Jersey seems to somehow be bringing it back. I think this series goes to 7.
Yeah, I think New Jersey showed a lot of fight in their last game.
Yeah, I think Jersey in 7. I think
Jersey in 7.
Jersey in 7. Lock it in. And
Fair enough.
then
I mean, it's gonna be a good series.
you've got who? Kraken Vegas in the West.
Cracking a bit, yeah.
Honestly, if the Kraken win against Dallas, they might win the cup.
Yeah, no, I had Dallas being Vegas, so I think Seattle can go with that depth too, and
Yeah,
if they get those big pieces back.
yeah. Oh, it'd
Um,
be very, very interesting if they get Burakovsky back. What a
oh,
gain!
that's a stack team.
That's it. That is a really good team, and no one thought it going into the playoffs.
True. I mean, no, I don't know. I thought Seattle were going to be shit again. I don't really understand what's changed for them.
Um, I have no idea. Dave Hackstall, the magic of Dave Hackstall.
The magic of Dave Foxwell. Fair enough.
Is our special guest on her way?
Uh, she wants to bring another special guest, but I think we'll let them do it one at a time. What do you think?
Who's the other special guest?
The man with the glasses. Oh, they both wear glasses. It's Frankie. It's Frankie.
It's Frankie.
Should I say? Let's get them on one at a time, eh?
Okay,
Keep it simple.
keep it simple. We'll bring Frankie on next time, next podcast episode.
Okay, I'll tell him that then. He's gonna be disappointed.
Fuck that. He leaves us. We can leave him. I am throwing shade.
He's gonna hear this, you know. That we have avid listeners.
Don't care. Don't care.
Well,
Mr. 100 problems
yeah.
over here.
Mr. 100. Can I invite people to this server?
Can you? I think you can.
I don't know if I can. I can.
Okay.
I can. You're gonna have to get rid of her though afterwards. Yeah. So that's a little teaser though. Frankie episode 3.
Frankie
If he's
episode
around
3.
and not with you know who.
His 100th problem.
Oh, well, let's not spill the
Allegedly.
tea.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Oh, she's gonna hear this. She's gonna get angry.
Hello.
Welcome to the Lewis and
Oh.
Rozh Hockey Podcast.
Hello,
You have the
hello.
I
honour.
am so excited.
You have
Am
the
I the
honour of.
first guest?
You are our first
Yeah.
guest.
Let's go.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
noted friend of the show, Ainsley.
Noted friend of the show and goaltender of the Kent Knights, University of
Star
Kent ice hockey
goaltender,
team.
dare I say.
Star goaltender.
Oh, thank
Ainsley
you.
Moans.
Oh boy.
How are you today?
You know, living the dream, living the dream.
Let's go. How do you feel about being the first guest on the Lewis and Rozh Hockey Podcast?
Absolutely pumped. No words, really. No words.
You have to say every single statement allegedly afterwards so that we
Oh,
are protected
sorry.
from.
Allegedly, I am allegedly so excited. Allegedly so pumped. What can I say?
Allegedly.
Living the dream. Allegedly.
That's sick. That saves us from any sort of legal trouble.
You can't come back for us now if that turns out to be false.
Yeah.
No.
We got everything covered. Everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, having little lawyer Roche here, really
Yeah.
helping you out.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Noted
Ainsley,
lawyer of the show.
this is a hockey podcast. We're here to talk about hockey. So we'll ask you some hockey questions. Get your
Allegedly.
opinions on it. What do you
Oh.
think about Chicago getting the first overall pick?
Absolutely hysterical. Can't lie. That draft lottery. Can I swear on this podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's my vocab. Anyway, that draft lottery sucked. It was fucking terrible, bud.
It was god awful.
It was so dumb. Oh, but when they leaked third.
Yeah, it was so good. me and Ainsley watched the stream live last night, Roche.
It was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It was
good.
so funny. It was
I'll have
so.
to catch a replay of that.
Like we're going to commercial break, and then they go, and he's like, "So we have third is here. What do you mean?
Columbus.
Yeah,
A bit-
they hadn't announced it yet though.
It
He
was.
read the
Oh my
script a
god!
little too early.
What a terrible, terrible league.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Viewer.
Oh,
Is it as bad as Buer? Yes.
Yeah, they're both
Yes.
pretty bad.
Yes.
Ainsley, why don't you tell us about your time in the Viewer, as it were?
I was forced to play tier 1 hockey. Was not prepared. We lost every game. Pretty
Whoa,
fun
whoa,
though.
whoa, whoa! Allegedly, we won every game.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you have no
sorry,
proof, no
sorry.
proof.
My
There's
bad.
no-
My bad.
no
No proof.
proof.
No proof. However, if you
proof.
go to if you go to
We're
You
gonna
have to blur this bit
we're gonna
out.
bleep all of this
However,
out.
that being said, if you look at my stats, they messed up and they're still messed up.
They're
So
still messed up?
allegedly, yeah, they're still messed up. So actually, I agree. Trash.
Allegedly.
We won.
Say allegedly.
yeah.
Say allegedly.
Allegedly.
Thank you.
Um,
I don't want to get an email from my Business Enquiries saying you've been served with a subpoena. Please
No.
appear in New York court to testify for your actions for insult and libel.
Trip to New York.
it's gonna be Red Deer. Rambo's gonna be like, come to Red Deer.
Red Deer? Okay, never mind. Not great. Not great. I take it back.
I will be expedited before I go to Red Deer. I will be dragged kicking and screaming.
who
If you
played for
stop
Red
by
Deer?
Ontario, we can hang out, but I'm not going to Red Deer with you, bud. That's not happening anytime soon.
In Red Deer, they don't have a prison because Red Deer is a prison. Allegedly.
no, that's true. That's like a factual statement.
Say allegedly.
No. Allegedly.
No,
Allegedly.
it's a
Say
factual.
it.
You're not saying allegedly?
Allegedly, it's a factual statement.
Okay. If you go to jail, I'm not. I said allegedly. I'm covered legally, I think.
I said allegedly. I
I
didn't
know.
even say anything bad.
So are you. So are you, Ainsley. It's all good.
Good.
So we've covered all of the main points, the main topics of the podcast that we wanted to today,
Yeah.
and it's coming up to the hour mark, which is where we tend to normally stop recording.
Extended interview.
Extended interview.
At the end of the podcast, we always try and name the podcast episode, what we should call it. Last episode was called Allegedly.
You can't call this an allegedly now too.
We could call it Allegedly 2. Potentially.
Allegedly 2.
That'd be such
Featuring
shit name.
allegedly Ainsley.
What should we call the podcast?
Well, I don't know what y'all talked about though.
Well, I was thinking maybe some mismatch of like allegedly and Ainsley. They sound pretty similar.
That's crazy because if you just take the A from allegedly and then the Ainsley from my name.
Well, how about call the episode Ains-llegedly? There you go.
Yes, no, that's
Ains-llegedly.
so good.
Ains-llegedly.
This is gonna become a running theme. All our fucking episodes are gonna like end in
And listen,
allegedly.
Roche, listen. Until we get legal representation, this is the best
Am
we
I
can
not
do.
our legal representation?
You're not a
Not
lawyer yet. You're just a
Okay.
student.
Well, why don't
Until you
as a lawyer,
pass the
as a law-
bar.
I feel like
That's
I'd
not
be
a
more
thing,
qualified at the moment than you, Roche. I've taken more years of law than you.
True.
What did you do this?
Yeah, I'm in year 3 and I've been taking law courses for my entire university career.
What
Wow.
the flip, dog? Alright, well, as
Exposed.
the lawyer here, why don't I
Okay.
ask you some interview questions, huh?
No.
You have
thank
3
That's
questions,
very
Roche, and then I'm
scary.
cutting you
3
off.
questions. Oh,
Cut him off
okay.
mid-question.
Uh,
So how? And then that's like outro.
I don't know, like, how would you compare hockey here to hockey in Canada?
And thank
So
you for
glad
listening
you
to the
asked.
Lewis and Rozh Hockey Podcast. As always, if any sponsors want to sponsor this, please, we need money.
We're looking
Uh,
at you, NHL.
We're looking at you, the
thank you guys for
NHL.
yeah,
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you, Ainsley, for joining us for like 5
Yeah,
minutes.
woo!
Time. I'll be back. Just you wait.
You
Oh,
won't.
that sounds menacing. Look, guys, if I disappear, she killed me, okay?
Hey, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, totally. Allegedly. Totally.
We will
You
see
can
you
copy my
guys.
handwriting. I would never write a suicide note.
We will see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.